Trending over the weekend, Deputy Darren Goforth was shot 15 times in the back while he was filling up his cruiser at a gas station. His accused killer, Shannon Miles, is charged with capital murder in the fatal shooting. And also trending today are the anti-police chants from the Black Lives Matter crowd in response to this police shooting. Now here to discuss this is former Police Chief Catherine Smit-Torrez. Catherine, welcome back to America Trends. Good to have you.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
So sorry again that it's over these sadder circumstances. We certainly hate to hear another story like this, but the first thing I want to do is go back and play this video of the protest that took place in Minnesota over the weekend. If we can roll that, please.
Pigs in a blanket, fry like bacon. Pigs in a blanket.
Now, some are denying, Catherine, that this is really about killing cops, but most aren't denying it. Most are saying, yeah, they're angry still about things going back to Ferguson and beyond that. Just your analysis of this situation as it exists today.
I just think things are really out of control with people's reactions to situations and circumstances. And I'm not saying that every single case that has come up recently about any deaths involving a police officer are righteous, but I am saying that every life matters, and when a police officer is found guilty of doing something wrong, they are harshly dealt with, and they have to answer to the courts just like everyone else. But to take our country in this direction, to become divisive and to really start racial wars and wars against the authorities in this country is very dangerous. Law enforcement officers everywhere are on just high lookout for everything going on. And when you put an officer in that position where they're under constant stress, it really leads to more bad decisions at times, because they need downtime. They need to be vigilant, and then they need a calm, and then they need to be vigilant or maybe hyper vigilant because something's going on, but they need some calm time. And in these days and times, it seems like officers are just going to be on that super high vigilance 24/7, especially.
Yeah, and you bring up a good point, Catherine. Do you think that this will lead to lives of all sorts being taken, you know, not just by the protesters or by an angry racist individual, but even just by the sort of, as you're saying, the high alert, maybe the hesitation to defend, you know, maybe even the hesitation to shoot somebody who needs to be taken down because they are truly a threat to society. Do you think this will ultimately cost more innocent lives?
I can't be certain of that, but I can say that an officer is more apt to make mistakes when they're in a super vigilant mode all the time, and that's a big concern. The mistake, whether they hesitate to make a shot that they are supposed to make, or the mistake to shoot too early because they're anticipating something is going to go wrong, like being shot in the back or something.
Yeah, and just in the last week, aside from the police officer, we also had the shooting, as you know, 2 white journalists shot by 1 black man. Many say that was racially motivated, that he was angry about some of the same things we're discussing. So this is really becoming almost a weekly thing we're discussing, and I find it really interesting that, you know, Barack Obama did speak immediately on the Michael Brown situation, did attend the funeral, is not really doing any of that for even this fallen police officer or others killed in the line of duty due to what essentially was proven to be a non-existent plot and the hands up, don't shoot thing. That was in the court case, it came out that never actually happened. And yet we have race rioting and murders happening because of something that didn't happen. What is the president's role in this?
Well, as a leader, you have to show some type of a leadership to the country that says, this is not the way we handle things. And I think if the president himself would make several comments to the public, to the citizens of the United States, that this is not how anyone should handle these types of things, I think it would be taken a little more seriously, and that maybe people would possibly heed his warning, but it would certainly make it look like there is a fair and impartial attitude from the president. And I'm not saying he is being fair and impartial. I'm just saying it comes off looking to the general public that that's what's happening right now.
Yeah. If they're so upset, Catherine, about Black Lives Mattering, I'm just curious why we don't see anything mentioned at any of these protests about, for example, the black-on-black crime happening in Chicago, the numbers of murders that go completely unmentioned someplace like Chicago. Why aren't we hearing more about that if this is truly a concern of these protesters?
I absolutely agree, but I think that if I had this agenda, I would be promoting all the positive things that Black lives have done rather than going out and trying to kill and trying to elevate those who have actually been involved in criminal issues, and even though they were shot, and even if it was an accident, they're still in the midst of committing a crime. And I'm not saying that makes it right, but I'm saying let's focus on all the good behaviors, and people will rise to want to get the stardom and the attention from positive media and positive talk rather than from all the negative. If you talk negative, you're going to get more negative. If you talk positive, you'll get more positive.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that would be a great next step. I hope that some of those Black leaders will go that direction. Thank you for being with us, Catherine.